Hello my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Miami Review. My name is Frank Warshaw. I was a police officer, retired for the city manager for 27 years. I was also the chairman of two boards, the News Debatement Board and the Code Enforcement Board for the city of Miami as well. I want to talk to you about the experiences that I had in those 27 years and the things that I saw, so that you can have an understanding how the Miami Police Department works or doesn't work. And I'll tell you the stories one by one. Today I want to speak to you about Donald Warshaw. Donald Warshaw was the chief of police for about 2 or 3 years. And then after that, Joe Carroyo, crazy Joe Carroyo, made him the city manager. The mechanics of how the city of Miami works is that there are department heads and CEOs, however, they all respond to the city manager. He's the one with the real power. The chief of police is nothing but a puppet to keep the cops in line, so to speak, and the manager is his boss. Donald Warshaw is a very interesting subject. Donald Warshaw was in charge of the Children's Fund for Do the Right Thing. Well, he was the CEO of that program, and he embezzled $100,000 of that fund. What I'm saying is not new. You can look it up in the newspapers. And everything I'm going to say to you, the truth, from seeing what I saw and knowing what I know. So he embezzled $100,000 from the Children's Do the Right Thing program. And he spent it on going on lavish trips with his girlfriends, Airbnb, all the time, fancy restaurants, while at the same time, he embezzled $100,000 and receiving a huge salary. So I got information that he had embezzled that money. So I looked up and was able to find all the American Express charges that he charged on the Do the Right Thing program. So when I went to the FBI with my attorney, David Brill, at that time, I showed them all the American Express bills that added up to more than $100,000. We sit there with 3 FBI agents, and this is in the latter part of the 1990s. And I showed them everything, and I showed them irrefutable facts, because I had all the American Express charge documents. After a while, this lady, who was an FBI agent that was sitting across from me and my attorney, along with the other 2 agents, she said to me, "Oh no, Don Warshaw would never do that. He's such a nice guy." I said, "But look at the documents that I have here. Look at all the evidence. This electronic wire fraud and embezzlement." And she said, "Oh, he would never do that." I said to my attorney, "Okay, the idiot FBI people," and they're very lazy, by the way, didn't do anything. So I got up, we both got up and left. About a year or a year and a half later, Warshaw's accountant tries to contact him several times. He won't respond, because what they did was invested $100,000 also in the stock market. Now we all know what happened to the stock market. It crashed, okay? So the accountant was held liable for that money. And the SEC started an investigation on him with subpoenas and everything else. The man couldn't take the pressure, so he committed suicide. And he wrote several letters just before he killed himself, explaining how Donald Warshaw had backstabbed him, wouldn't return his call, and would not give the $100,000 back. So he was facing jail and also the loss of his license. He wrote all this out. It's in the papers. The FBI calls me back in with my attorney, and listen, we want to talk to you about the embezzlement and the Do the Right Thing program. And I said, well, where is the agent, the female agent that said, oh no, Don would never do that? And they tell me, well, she was transferred. I said, because of this? And they said, we can't comment on that, you know, because everything's secret. So I said, oh, so where did you transfer her to? Washington, D.C. I said, oh great, you gave her a promotion. After I came here, gave all you guys the information and ammunition that you needed to indict Warshaw. And you did nothing about it. It took a man to commit suicide for you to start an investigation. That's disgusting, deplorable. Malfeasance, and the FBI, all you guys have blood on your hands. You could have prevented this, and you didn't. You know why? You would take the word a refugee, spit Cuban cop of Miami, but you'd rather take the word of an Anglo-Jewish embezzler. You have blood on your hands. You should all be ashamed of yourself. In fact, you should all get fired, if not arrested. Well, they finally took out a warrant and had him arrested for the $100,000 that he stole for the from the children's fund. Well, they gave him a year and a day in federal prison. So he lost his pension. He lost whatever he did because he was a disaster in finance, and he had filed for bankruptcy about 2 or 3 times. But the most important thing is that you get promoted when you become a police officer. You have to take rigorous exams to get promoted. Sergeant exam, lieutenant exam, and captain's exam, all that stuff. Donald Warshaw never held the rank of anything other than a regular police officer, because he ended up the former police chief, Harms. They promoted him to major as a reward, because he is a do boy or a do man, and they tell him just do as you say, as we say, and everything will be okay. So this is a very long story. I'm going to cut it short, but I'll have more stories for you soon. Again, this all can be seen in the newspaper articles. My meeting with the FBI was documented very well, and then after that, I became the worst cop in the history of Miami, because the City of Miami Police Department and the City of Miami, if you don't play by their rules, they'll ruin you, make your life impossible. Okay, so here I am reporting on grand theft and fraud from the former chief of police, who is now the city manager, or was now the city manager, But you can't do that. In the police department, if you hand up or bring crime to the attention of internal affairs, which is the most corrupt unit in the city of Miami Police Department, because if they don't like you, they'll make your life impossible. But if they like you, and you shoot somebody or beat somebody up, they always find all the investigation inconclusive. And that's how they cover everything. Thank you. I'll see you on the next show.